Hello, this is Sherlock with Elementary Airsoft. Back here again today. Today I'm going to do something a bit different than what I normally do. I'm going to do a review, a bit of a review slash unboxing. Typically wouldn't do this, but it's on a product that I think hasn't gotten enough good reviews out there. It's a bit more uncommon. So I'll try and bring some info and hopefully some good info to those of you who may be looking at it. So what I have out here today is a KJ Works 1911 single stack variant, but that isn't our review piece. That's going to be a piece for comparison. Our review piece today is the Colt 1911 100-year anniversary by Inokatsu. First of all, I did not pay full price for this, or it's its standard going retail price, and this is sort of their second generation. The newer, cheaper ones isn't the ones with the fancy wooden box or anything, but let's get into it. I also have a new camera out here today. Hopefully it's easier to hear and or better quality. So, let's get into it. So, let's start by just grabbing out our KJW 1911 here, which is not a bad replica by any means. And we'll just pull out the KJW mag, green gas. So we have that. This one does not have any trademarks on it. I know they do have trademarked variants. Just got a 45 ACP in the top window. Feels pretty good in the hand. I really like the grip style of these single stack 1911s. Now, for the Inokatsu, it comes in a nice fancy box. Kind of cool artwork. Maybe a bit cheesy to some. Paperwork and a note. I will say that this came from France, and that I had a very helpful, very special Redditor help me get this. So a huge shout out to him. He's great. He actually even did the 3D printed and painted me a barrel plug to comply with US Customs so it wouldn't get seized. Pretty cool. It fits in there really tight, which is nice, so you can have it, because it is a very realistic replica. Okay, presentation is just in a box. I actually don't know what's under here. I think it's cardboard and then some cloth, but simple, elegant enough presentation, especially for the price that it came at. Comes with a V2 style-ish CO2 mag, so we have that here. So real quick, what makes the Inokatsu special is that it is all steel. By all steel, I mean literally flipping everything steel. The only thing that isn't is like the bucking and maybe the inner barrel. I am not positive on that one, but I did strip it earlier, take it apart, lube everything. I also polished the slide slightly, but all your hammer sears, all that stuff, it is done beautifully, and it's steel. It's all magnetic. It's great. The finish on it is a Parkerized finish, true to what they did in World War II era. So for M1911A1, it is absolutely awesome, in my opinion. Some people are like, oh, it's not blued. It's Parkerized. To me, that it just adds to the realism. Beautiful trademarks. We're on the other side of the table. Maybe we can get a... I don't know if we're going to focus here. But the trademarks there, fantastic. And on this side, once again, beautiful. Nothing on the slide. We got the P and the alignment ridge for that top sight. Fixed sights. The grips, now that I'm here, I'll also mention it here. They are a plastic, they aren't wood. Once again though, this is accurate to the World War II model. they're made out of like a plastic fiber thing. And honestly, these ones, after I took them off and looked at them, that's like the same thing. So in my opinion, they did an excellent job at replicating it. I cannot really see any of the mill marks that you'll see on some of the earlier ones, so the mill marks on the molds from like the Gen 1 Inokatsus that a lot of people are complaining about. And even for the price of the Gen 2s, and especially the price that I got it at, I wouldn't really even complain if there is any. So it is very, very nice. And while we're here and it's maybe a bit quieter, that slide rack, steel on steel, it's beautiful. And now our pot metal has a distinct more like pinginess on the pot metal. It's great. Let's talk weight real quick. So I have a nice scale. Yeah, you should be able to see that. So the Inokatsu clocks in at 2 pounds 3 ounces, and then with our mag, unloaded of course, is 2 pounds 9 ounces. Just quite a lot of heft to it. The KJW 1911, no mag, 1 pound 9 ounces, and where did my mag go? There it is. And with the green gas mag that came with, 2 pounds. So, not terribly different. The full steel model is a bit heavier, but at the same point, pot metal is pretty darn heavy. And this guy also has nice counterweights underneath the grips. The grips on here are definitively more plasticky. These, it's hard to describe the difference in the feel. So a few more things going over it. I am not positive on all how close it is to dimensions and whatnot of the real steel. But everything is just replicated beautifully. The grooves on the slide here are just so crisp. Nice metallic clicks. Everything's great. Other things that other people complained about. This guy wobbling. Not on mine. Slide wobble. / rattle. It's pretty small. So compare that to our, I'd say it's about on par with my normal KJW here, which I am not terribly upset about. I know there is some slop on the actual ones. I haven't handled an actual one, so I can't comment further on it, but to me, for still being a full steel and the price that I got it for, I think it's plenty fair. It hasn't affected function in any of my tests so far. One quick thing I'll go through here too is you may be wondering what mags fit. So here's our Inokatsu one. I have KJW, the hoof foot. I'll be using these later in shooting test. This is a Tokyo Marui single stack 1911 mag, and then we have our KJW 1911 mag. All of these fit in the KJW model, and we knew the Inokatsu fit, so KJW green gas mag. Oh, there we go. No. KJW green gas mag does not go in far enough to catch. So, something to bear in mind. Now, our Marui mag. He doesn't like to catch it either, actually. I had a Marui in it earlier and it caught. but it is much more difficult. In general, I think that the height difference here is very slight. Even this guy, or I've had some of the hoof style mags not catch, but this one's in there. And you'll be wanting to run CO2 mags in here anyhow, because it's all steel. You need the CO2 power to blow back the slide. I'll just leave this guy in here for now because we'll be using him in the shooting test. It'd be great if you could get these guys with the lower profile boot on them. Yes, this does detract from the looks when you have it, but honestly, shooting it and actually using it, which is what I got this for, is to be a very durable sidearm for airsoft. I mean, it works, and the rest of it's steel, so I can't complain terribly too much. So, other notes. Some people have in the past complained about your slide catch flying out. On this second run from Inokatsu, I have not had any movement here. I will note it's a bit harder when you field strip this guy to get the pin back in, because the spring-loaded retention pin right here, he comes out really far, so you have to push him in and then kind of push your pin back in. But other than that, it's a great, solid, and incredibly durable. I will also comment on the durability standpoint. I'll get closer here again. Let's see here, I don't know if I can re-autofocus here. I did, being the awesome day that I was having the other day when I got this, immediately drop it on concrete after test shooting it. Now this isn't like your smooth concrete, this is like the rougher, like sidewalk type stuff. And I was like mortified, but then looking at it, there's a couple spots where like dust piled up. Once I brushed off the concrete dust, the finish still looks fine. I think that is a decent testament to the durability and the build quality of this. There is a slight imperfection here from when I dropped it on the grip. But, like I said, this isn't going to be just a wall hanger. For me, it is a functional piece, a piece that I will use. So I'm not terribly upset, because it's going to get some wear on it over the time anyhow. The finish, it's very hard to describe, but I mean, it's parkerized steel. It's beautiful. It's not black paint. It's not black. It's kind of a very, very, very dark gray. Size-wise, they're similar. Just looking at them here, I mean, you can tell that they probably use the same model. Internally, they're compatible. I will also say internally I found the hammers, sears, all that stuff to be of a higher quality, less mold lines, less deformations. Everything was very crisp looking. Even the slide rails themselves, I did polish them slightly, but they were significantly smoother than this guy, which I did hand polish. It's absolutely wonderful. And now I'd like to go over probably the sweetest part of this, which is its recoil. It is absolutely astounding for an airsoft sidearm. Definitely the heaviest kicking airsoft gun that I have used. FPS, I haven't clocked it yet, but on CO2 you're supposedly around 300, which is still to me fine. It's CQB legal. It's fine that you put more of that into cycling the slide. I do not care. You can fire this on green gas, but it doesn't work very well, like at all. So I'm going to relocate and do a bit of shooting. Overall, I will say I'll give my overall impressions right now. I think this is a great replica. It's very true to the World War II design side of the mag bumpers. Another thing too is you should note, before I finish wrapping up, the V1, the big hoofs, they have a better, or they're a higher flow valve in them that are more suited to this. The V2s that look more like or like this guy down here, they use a lower flow valve up top. The Inokatsu one, so as far as I can tell, is different, or it's uses the same flow valve as these. So it's like realistically, you'll probably be wanting to use the V1s, unless they changed something recently. No, you cannot use the KWC mags. They're at a different angle, and kind of what makes the KJW one special is they have a built-in expansion chamber and stuff in here before it goes out, which allows your CO2 liquid to expand to the gas, so it's running and working more efficiently, and that's pretty good in my book. As far as gas efficiency goes, it's pretty terrible. You're kicking back a full steel slide, you get like a full mag, and then you might get 8 or 10 if you're lucky, maybe a bit more if it's a really warm day. So overall, I am very happy with this. This is going to be one of my daily drivers, so to speak. But it is an amazing replica. So we'll go shoot it a bit so you can see the recoil. It's great. I haven't really tuned in the hop-up, I'll tell you that ahead of time, but I was impressed too. Even the hop-up unit idle, all of that, it's all steel. It's just nuts. It's awesome. That's all I can say. And unlike other people, I did not have any problems working, shooting, firing it out of the box. I feel like that's a poor representation of what they're putting out today. So really, it's the new, cheaper, if you will, model that this one is, in my opinion, I'm happy with my purchase. I'm satisfied. If you can get them below what they're retailing at, like if you go out, I think Red Wolf has it at the new lowish price. This one came from, I think, Phoenix Airsoft out of France. They don't ship to the USA, so that's where I had, once again, huge shout out to my good friend over there in Reddit, or my newfounded good friend. You know who you are. You're awesome. And just the personalized note with it. It was great. Packaging was great. And like I said, he helped comply with it. Something that the stores were not willing to do to ship it to the US. So, fantastic. Now let's go shoot this. So let's try this again. I think I have my mag issues sorted. But I'm out of BBs, so the kick on this is just nuts. I'll try and hold it more loosely here for you to and we're running really low on CO2 now because I fired a mag. Yep, and that's it. So a bit pickier on the mags, but the kick is unreal. It is a really, really nice sidearm.